The video that you're about to see is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say in this video is alleged.
That's what it is, guys. Anyways, let me see what else is going on with Texas. It's a tense situation with Texas. They are trying to figure out what they're going to do. They're not going to like it, guys. They're not going to like what's about to happen. Texas is going to have some problems, especially when it comes to the weather again.
Good afternoon, everybody. Come in the room. Come in the room. Come in the room. We gotta talk. We have to talk. All my spiritual people. Guys, welcome. This is Divinity Dion Divine. I am your psychic tarot reader / numerologist / astrologist. I also read life charts. If you're new to my channel, please like, share, and subscribe. Click the like button and click the bell so you can get all my notifications. Okay, I'm over myself. I want to talk about Camp Mystic, and I want to talk about Texas. Now, me growing up here, I'm a native. This is my town, and this is my city. But I got something to say, and I gotta tell the truth. And sometimes it's hard telling the truth. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys can relate. I don't give a fuck about what none of y'all feel. I care about telling you the truth. Now, my condolence goes out to all the children. Did you listen to what I said? Children who have perished, and the adults. Let me some of them. My condolence goes to all the people. I gotta correct myself. My condolence go to all the people who've perished during this flood in Kerr, Texas. Kerr County, Texas. My heart goes out to y'all. Love and light. But I gotta be honest with you guys. It's a new day. Now, I know a lot of y'all been saying, why you been posting up all these videos? You live there. Why you haven't been talking about the situation? It's been wearing on me. It has. I'm not gonna say that I don't feel affected by it. I won't lie to you and say that it didn't bother me. It did bother me. And I'm gonna tell you why it bothered me. Because the weather here has been very, very gloomy throughout this whole entire week. Every time I get on YouTube, I can't help but to see the story and see the numbers adding up on the victims who have perished during this flood. I wouldn't be human if I didn't feel that. Now, this video isn't to chastise anyone who's watching. I love everybody. You all know that. I do readings for people all over the world. All over the world. I'm the real deal. I love all my people. I love white people, black people, Mexicans, Chinese, Asians, Koreans, you name it. We all are one. And on my channel, we all are one. I believe in God and I believe in spirit. God is spirit. Let me correct myself. God is spirit. Now, what I want to talk about, I want to talk about Texas. That's what we came here to talk about, right? Camp Mystic.
It's probably hard to imagine just how many parents drove this road at Camp Mystic to drop off their daughters for summer camp. Camp Mystic was opened in 1926 by University of Texas coach Doc Stewart. Initially known as Stewart's Camp for Girls, it focused on outdoor activities and various skills like roping, marksmanship, and arts. For nearly 100 years, kids have come here each summer for camp, except when the U.S. Army took it over for 2 years during World War II to make it a center for veterans to recover from their war injuries. It's 700 acres situated on the South Fork of the Guadalupe River, 3 miles southwest of Hunt, Texas. Nearly 24 summer camps are scattered along the river and its tributaries in Kerr County. It's easy to see why the camp's located here, but the river can be treacherous when flash floods happen, and it was the wall of water that swamped Camp Mystic, and among the victims of the flood, longtime camp director Dick Eastland, who died when he tried to move some of the campers to higher ground. Not far from Camp Mystic, Heart of the Hills Summer Camp was between sessions, so no campers were at risk. But beloved camp director Jane Ragsdale perished in the flood. Now Camp Mystic lives on in the memories of the generations of girls who spent part of their summer times here, and in this poignant video that captured a much happier time only a few summers ago. Bob Buckaloo, KVUE News.
Now, Camp Mystic was established in the 1920s under Jim Crow segregation. It was an all-white Christian and conservative camp. Since then, yes, they do have like at least 1 or 2 white people there, or one. They do have at least 1 or 2 people of color, but that's just what they do. Right? Now, if you notice on the news, we've had floods in Houston many times. And we did not get this much coverage. We didn't get this much coverage when it came to Harvey. When it came to, it mind boggles me. We didn't even get interviewed. Remember Texas when we had the lights off? Nobody talked about that. Better yet, remember the snowstorm? Nobody talked about that. I documented it, but nobody talked about it. I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all heard around the world about the snowstorm in Texas, right? Because it never snowed here. It rarely snows here. So that was amazing to some of us. Like for a person like me, I've never experienced snow. That was everything to me. Yeah, it was devastating. Yeah, we got our lights cut off, but hey, I enjoyed it. I had a time, you know. And it taught me a lot during those times. It taught me that when you don't have electricity, what are you going to do? When you don't have power, what are you going to do? I want to start off with giving my prayers and hopes to the people of Houston, Texas. I know they recently just had a hurricane, which is one of my predictions. And I just want to say my heart goes out to those people. I don't know if they still have the power If y'all know anybody, you know, if they need food, water, guys, just give them a helping hand. You know, please help. Show your compassion to these people, because I mean, they didn't know, they wasn't warned. I have an issue with that whole thing in Houston. My question is, where the hell was Greg Abbott at? Where was he at? Do anybody know? Because last time I checked, he was in what? He was in Japan.
Biden said state leaders were to blame for the delay in federal disaster relief in the aftermath of Hurricane Beryl. Governor Abbott lashed back. President Biden said he was unable to reach the governor or lieutenant governor. Governor Abbott's been in Asia for a planned business trip and responded to Fox's Rudy Koski.
Governor will be back in Texas by the weekend. I'm Rudy Koski, Fox.
What's up, family? Yeah, what's done in the dark will come to light. Family, let me give you an update on the power outages in Houston and surrounding areas. There are linemen who have come from as far as LA who are saying they are in position, boots on the ground, ready to work. But they can't. Their hands are tied because Centerpoint won't give them the go. They won't green light it. Why would Centerpoint do something like that? Centerpoint is the company that's tasked with delivering electricity to Houston and surrounding areas. And when there's a power outage, they're responsible for restoration. So why are they sitting on their hands? That is because Centerpoint is trying to get more money out of Houston. They're trying to get more money out of the residents. So they're using a crisis situation to shake the people of Houston down so they can get more money. See, back in January, the Houston City Council struck down a 57% increase in the rate for delivery of electricity from Centerpoint. And they didn't like that. So subsequently, they agreed on a lesser increase. But the caveat was they get to raise the rates annually. So since they're not getting what they want, they're holding the people of Houston hostage. And I knew it was something up, fam, because typically when there's a power outage in Houston, like in my neighborhood, those lights come on like that. They're back in a few hours. Worst case scenario, 24 hours. Even in most of Houston, those lights come back right back on. Those lights are up, 48 hours up, boom. Most of Houston is still without power because these uncivilized mutts are putting profit over people. They got to go. They asses, we don't need them here. They got to go. When we need them most, they abandon the people. We got people in Houston spending money on hotels that they ain't even got. People sleeping at strangers' houses, getting out of town, trying to have some type of quality of life as they weather this storm that's been over for 4 days. A city the size of Houston should not be experiencing something like this. With the type of resources that are here, the money that we got here, we got to go through this? Nah, their asses got to go. Centerpoint, I can't stand you dirty, low-down mother. Get y'all ass out of here.
My prayers go out to the people in Houston. I have family members too that are out there who I have not yet spoken to. I just, wish them the best. Those of you who I did warn, I know who some of you guys are. Thank you for listening to Spirit. Because when Spirit tells you something, listen, people. Some of y'all be thinking I'm talking on my ass. But when I tell you Spirit is not a joke, Spirit is not a joke. Please listen, people. Oh my God, guys. Y'all know what I've been through. I've been calling everybody who I knew in Houston, letting them know, hey, this hurricane is coming. And, some people don't believe. But at the end of the day, that's out of my hand. That's out of my control, Those who listen, listen. Those who don't. Kind of remind me of Noah's Ark. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, shout out to Houston. If I'm gonna put some blame on this whole flood, I'm gonna blame the parents. I'm gonna blame the parents. Because the reason why I blame the parents, y'all, is because this camp was established in the 1920s under Jim Crow segregation. Camp Mystic. Oh yeah, I did my research.
What city, what state you're coming in from? If you're outside of the United States, let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Going right in, fam. Tragic news out of Texas in the wake of the devastating July 4th weekend flash floods in central Texas that have claimed at least 110 lives. There has been enough blame to go around for everybody. Most of those deaths happened in Kerr County, where at least 87 people have died, including 30 children. Former Houston Food Insecurity Board member Sade Perkins has sparked controversy with her remarks about Camp Mystic, a private Christian summer camp for girls. In a TikTok video, Sade labeled the camp a whites-only conservative Christian camp, stating, "If you ain't white, you ain't right. You ain't getting in. You ain't going." She further claimed that if the victims were Hispanic or Black, the media and the public response would have been less vigorous, suggesting that no one would give a F, and that parents would be saying they need to be deported. They should have never been there in the first place. Her comments have been widely condemned by Houston Mayor John Whitmire. He called them deeply inappropriate and confirmed that Sade would not be reappointed to the Food Insecurity Board. The First Unitarian Universalist Church of Houston, where Sade is affiliated, issued a public apology stating that her views do not reflect the church's core values of love and inclusivity. Furthermore, Sade's own partner publicly disavowed her comments. Joining me today to address both the specifics of the incident and the broader implications of her views on race, media, and social division is Sade Perkins. Where we at, Sade?
On.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Hey, straight out the gate. Any regrets?
No.
No regrets.
No, not a single one.
Not a single regret. Okay, so you stated that if the victims were Hispanic or Black, the media and the public response would have been less vigorous. Can you elaborate on what led you to the conclusion how you believe that race influenced the coverage of this tragedy?
Well, I mean, race is involved with everything, as we know. And that camp was established in the 20s under Jim Crow segregation. So it was established as a all-white Christian conservative camp. And it hasn't really evolved much since then. Yes, they do have one or two, people of color or whatever, but that, that's what they do just to say that they're diverse or whatever. For the most part, it's still an all-white camp and affluent on that. And that's what's really important. It's rich white folks who got swept away. Normally, when these natural disasters happen, it's usually people of color who are most affected because, you may not have the money to evacuate, et cetera, and they're hardly ever affected because they can get up out of there. This situation was a catastrophic failure of the government and also the camp itself, all right? Those kids were not allowed to have cell phones and neither were the camp counselors. Nobody got the alert. So I feel like that's where the blame needs to be. But since these were little white girls that this happened to, their future baby makers, they are really upset about this. Yeah.
I covered this story very compassionately, I think, when it first broke. And I did so because I didn't even have time to consider the disparities in media coverage in regards to race or something. I just saw some kids had drowned, and Texas, which is where we are, this is our state, was in trouble. People are going through it, and I just felt for them, and I did a report, and I gave my condolences and wished everybody well. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'll keep it a buck. If I had had more time to think about it, I'm straight up, I would have probably included the fact that they need to have this same type of energy when Black and brown children go missing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So with that said, race and socioeconomic status does play a significant role in how these tragedies are covered. Is there a way that we can have this type of honest discussion and address the disparities without being cynical or lacking compassion?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do have compassion, and I said in my original video, even though it was totally overlooked, that I want these girls to be found, and that's not really the focus here. The focus here is more so the failure of the government, the failure of the camp, and then also the fact that these same MAGA Christian conservatives would be literally wishing death on people if they don't meet their standards. If these were trans campers, if these were LGBTQ campers, all of that, these same MAGA Christians would be saying that this is God's will. So I'm just using their logic, maybe it's God's will. I'm not saying that, but if you use their logic, if it would have happened to trans kids, that's exactly what they would be saying. And anytime a natural disaster happens to a state that they don't like California with the wildfires, these MAGA Christians were saying, well, that's God's will, and don't send them any relief and all this and this and that, So that's, yeah.
Can you clarify how institutions can be more inclusive while still maintaining their culture or religious identities?
These particular, their culture is white supremacy. So I don't know if they're interested in that. That is their culture. There are, non-racist white people. There are white people who are trying to make a difference. But at the end of the day, the majority of white people conform to white supremacy, period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Your partner, who is a white male.
And what's happening is we live in the year 2025. This is a spiritual year. This is the year where the ancestors come down, and they're here. God is in the details. This could have been prevented. Texas, you're up for a review. This could have been prevented. Just like the snowstorm could have been prevented. Just like the hurricanes in Houston could have been prevented. But did y'all care? No. Greg Abbott, we need to vote him out. This is why I get on the Christians. I don't care what your belief system is. I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, but that whole Christian thing is under white supremacy.
Our Monique exposed Christianity and the true color of Christ.
Ooh. So you believe that Christianity is the white man's religion?
Well, who taught it to us? Who taught it to us?
Well, for me, my parents did. But Christianity is not about a color at all.
If it's not about a color, then make them the true color. See, I've been able to travel the world, and I've seen where that Jesus is black, baby. If it's not about a color, then make it the truth. But because we've been taught it's not about the color, don't get caught up in that. Well, when we know our history, when did they start teaching us Christianity?
Well, Christianity is a result of Judaism.
When did Jesus change his religion? If he's a Jew, when did he become Christian?
I don't care what y'all say. I care about telling you the truth. These people got... Now, this storm came out of nowhere. If that ain't God, I don't know what is. And the story is going viral. This story, it already escalated to overseas now. It's the hot topic of the week. Yeah. But what you guys are not looking at, what you guys are not understanding is who the victims are. Please, Father God, talk to me. What's around Texas? What's the energies around Texas, Spirit? Please, Father God, talk to me. What you guys are not understanding is the victims. This is a wake-up call for change. Now, my grandparents, they grew up East Texas in a sundown town. Yeah, a lot of you don't know that. This is why I go hard for Beyonce. Because I understand. I understand country music came from us. It was stolen. Just like we were stolen. But like I said, this is a time where we have to tell the truth and we have to be honest with ourselves. Because even though this place Camp, what they call it, Camp Mystic, it was none mystic about that place, by the way. It freaking flooded all the time. It just didn't get this bad. Spirit, talk to me. What is the energies around Texas? What's around Texas, Spirit? You know what I hate? I hate when they add God into when there's something devastating like this. I hate when they want to, they want to go to God then. But are you acting godly? Did you ask that? Are you acting godly? You sent the immigrants back. No, I don't have no... I don't even, like, my words is trying to come, y'all. I'm really holding back. I'm really doing a good job at holding back my emotions. That's why I'm wearing this stone right here. But I'm really holding back my emotions. But were y'all Christian when the immigrants came here? No, y'all wasn't. So, God always has a good way of getting his message across. And it's a matter of time. It's God's time. If you read the Bible, it says, you won't know the time, day, or hour when he shows up. Well, guess what? He showed up. But did you pay attention to the sign? Did you pay attention to the signs? I don't think y'all did. Because this could have been prevented. God always gives you a sign. That's one thing I do know. God will always show you a sign.
Devastating flooding out of Texas Hill Country with at least 95 people believed to have been killed. First responders say they're not giving up hope, not yet, with this huge operation, this massive search happening now into the night for anybody who may still, after 4 days, be alive. Realistically, they've indicated that hope may be fading here, but they are working round the clock after one of the deadliest floods the country has seen in decades. I want to bring in somebody who experienced this for herself. Riata Shuff was staying at a nearby hotel right along the banks of the Guadalupe. She's joining us now. Riata, thank you so much for being with us. First of all, we are so glad that you are okay. Can you tell us a little bit, in your own words, what happened early Friday morning?
So Friday morning, our whole facility we were staying at got knocks on their door, just telling everybody to get out. There was no rain until a little after 12 that night. We had just been hanging out. I mean, the kids were swimming and everything like that. And that morning around 2:33, everybody was leaving. Like, we walked outside and the water was up to the bottom floor doors. And it was insane. It just came out of nowhere. And we all started running to our cars. Everybody was trying to leave. And the only two exits are through low water crossings and by bridge. And we were all at a standstill on the road. And everybody's trying to go the same place. And nobody can go anywhere because both exits are blocked. We had just been sitting in the car. And then you start seeing all the water rising slowly, and then it started getting faster and faster until it was up at our cars. And you just see people fleeing their cars and walking down the road. And then you're like, oh, I guess we better do that too, because at this point, there's nowhere else for us to go. And we just started walking down the street. And as you're walking, you're just getting the water rising higher and higher. And you looking somewhere for higher to go. I mean, all the houses there are one story, and there was only a few that were 2-story that we could see. And the one house that we did find, there were people in the second story with flashlights on. And as we were walking by, once the water was up close to our chests, they were screaming for us to come up because the current was just pulling more and more people in. They let down sheets for us, and we started climbing up, pulling people and tons of dogs. We had a great community there to help us, and there were some very significant people that got us through that time.
So that I understand, Riata, you're saying that you said water up to your chest. So you're sort of walking or swimming or struggling through this, and somebody throws down sheets from a second-story window that you're then, with all these people, that you're climbing up?
Yes. So there were definitely at the end point, more than 45, 50 people in one, area on that second floor. People needed somewhere to go, and they threw down a sheet for us, and 2 men that are really great in my life just pushing people up and going out and getting them. And just everybody was looking for somewhere to go. Nobody had any service. Nobody had anything.
Did everybody, all the people you were with from the hotel, all the people that evacuated the hotel, did they all make it to higher ground safely, to your knowledge?
There were a few people that did not make it. Thankfully, nobody in my group, they all made it. But at River End, there were a few families that did not make it out. Some tried going over that bridge and unfortunately did not. And just some people never got the knock on the door loud enough or noticed in time.
Ugh. What time did that knock come, Riata? Were you sleeping when it happened? Were you still awake with your family?
Yes,
and your?
Yeah. So everybody was asleep. We all went to bed. We were only there for a few hours and stuff and just hanging out. But it was definitely around 2:33. So everybody that I knew was asleep. There were a few that had already been awake because the storm was so bad. The lightning and thunder was insanely loud. It was nothing like I've experienced here.
Wow. Your dad posted online that he was getting a couple of messages from you. Like literally as this was happening, it sounds like you're like, I'm swimming through water. I'm not too much. Were you on your phone? Was somebody sending that message for you? How did you manage to communicate in this moment of crisis?
So I had originally sent the message to them around like 4 or 5 a.m., but the message never went through till around 8 a.m. that morning. And I know everybody's celebrating 4th of July, but thankfully the satellite option on your phone now, the message cleared through that. But this is a place where people go to get away and has no service. So everybody there was extremely difficult to reach anything.
Yeah. I wonder, Riata, what your message is. There's so many people around the country and around the world, candidly, who are looking at Kerrville, looking at Texas, praying for the state. They're sending their thoughts there. What is your message to them, to the people who have watched this catastrophe unfold, as somebody who lived through it?
It's definitely like, don't take your life for granted. So many people had it worse. Like, we had probably the best situation and best people around us. So many families, like, walking through that town, lost everything. And it's unimaginable for them. Like, it's hard to know exactly, like, what to do. But anything by just donating, and if you're able to, I know I'm going to help clean up that area, like helping those families, like donating money, anything like you can, I promise you it'll happen anyway.
Yeah. Riata Chef, 19 years old, survivor of that Texas flooding. Thank you so much for being with us and for sharing your story. I can't imagine how traumatic that was for you, and so many people are glad that you are doing okay tonight. Thank you for being with us.
Yes, ma'am.
It's whether you believe it or you don't. Like watching me right now, this is a sign. God don't make mistakes. I promise you. God does not make mistakes. Sorry guys, I have to cleanse the room right quick. This is alcohol, so don't worry. It's alcohol and Florida water. I make up my own concoction. So if you want to cleanse, this is a good concoction. It's just for y'all who like to use sage and it's too much for you sometimes, use this. So anyway, Texas is up for a review. Is Texas in trouble? I get peace, dissolving unwanted and disturbing thoughts. This is in the past. Texas used to be racist. For y'all newbies out there, oh yeah. East Texas, where my grandparents came from, it was a sundown town. It was a sundown town. There was times where they could not walk on the sidewalk. They had to walk on the street whenever a white person would come. They could not look them in the eyes. If they had blue eyes, they could not look them in the eyes. They would have to look down. I had a person tell me one time, I used to work at Potbelly's. I used to work there. And I remember I closed and opened. I opened the store. I opened and closed the store. Like I was the manager there. And I remember somebody came in, and it was a brother. He came in and I told him, "How you doing, sir? Good afternoon." And he looked at me. He stopped and said, "My brother, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's the problem?" He was like, "My brother, are you conflicted?" Now, I didn't know what he was saying by that. I don't know what he meant by that. But I told him, I said, "No. This is just how we talk down south." And he didn't understand. And I understood why he didn't understand. Because he was from Chicago. Now, when the black people moved up there, I felt like they lost their morals. People down south, we say good morning, which I don't say good morning right now. Now I say grand rising, because I found out and I did my research what good morning really means. It means mourning, like people mourn on the slaves back in the day. But we're not in those times. I'm just saying, I'm just educating you guys, okay? So that's what we don't say that. That's what we say grand rising now. But yeah, you seen that movie, Get Out? Remember when that one lady, the one go, oh no 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 no. That's what he thought I was. He thought I was conflicted like her. Because the rumor that's going around is people in Texas are like slave people. That's not true. It ain't like that down here. But that's what a lot of people think, because that's what the movies and TV got y'all motherfuckers thinking. But it ain't like that here. Trust and believe. We ain't slow. Case in point, Beyonce, the most top-selling artist of them all. But no, y'all want to throw that black magic and witchcraft on her, not understanding the underlining tone of what the situation is really going on. This is racism. And she's a sister, and y'all trying to get rid of the sister. Wake up, America. Wake up. This is the year of truth. Like I said, this is a spiritual year. This is the end of a new beginning. Okay? It's not the old your mama, your grandma days no more. We powerful now. Anyways, back to the reading. Right now, it's a message of love. I get a message of love. This is what's going on in Texas right now, because we're getting support from Canada and Mexico. But I also get in the future, goddess of creation. There's going to be a transformation, creativity, and wholeness when it comes to the money and the emotions on how they do things in Texas. Texas is going to go purple. I promise you, we're going to go purple. In the past, we didn't have love. It's the beginning of love. Love begins. Right now, we're getting recognized. There's a light shining on Texas right now. People all over the world will see this. And we will see the truth. Texas will be judged. Okay, so let's get into the tarot. The first card I get the Hermit. This is the year of the Hermit. There's a lot of secrets going on in Texas. Texas is keeping a lot of things hidden, especially when it comes to money and what they're doing with the money. So, time will tell. Time will tell when things get better. The truth will reveal itself. The problem we're standing on is things are getting out of control in Texas. What I see in the past, there was a lot of restrictions, but now the restrictions have been lifted. What they know, they playing tricks with the people. They're playing tricks with people in Texas. Vote Greg Abbott out. But we will have success. Texas will have success. In the mind, they're going to have to give the people what they want. There's going to be some lawsuits coming. What's around is a new beginning. Texas is getting new life. I do see money coming here. What they're hoping and fear is they hope they don't stash this money. But it's not, because it's coming to the light and we will get desires fulfilled. Texas is going to be a whole new state. This is a new beginning for Texas. They're paying attention. Spirit never lies. So let me pull some more cards just to see what else I get. I get there's some disrupted joy when it comes to the families. There's some sudden changes, but I do get judgment when it comes to Texas. I get something unexpected comes when it comes to the money and the children. I get someone's leaving their troubles behind. I feel like someone's refusing to walk away. It's a man of authority, but it's going to reveal itself within 2 days, 2 weeks. I get that we weren't getting any, the infrastructure has to change. It's going to be challenging, but Texas will maintain. There's a lot of confusion going on, but the fog is lifted when it comes to this Earth sign woman, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus woman, and a little bit of money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I get there's something about there's a fire sign man who will get victory. And he seems like a religious man. He's going to get victory. They might put him in as the new mayor or something. He's a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries man. He's going to get victory in the future. Oh yeah, change is going to come. Now I didn't want to harper on this video, but I just wanted to let people know, you know, how I was feeling about this whole situation, because I didn't talk about it, but you know, it's time to talk about it. But yeah, so that's what I have, you guys. Remember, guys, please like, share, subscribe to this video, click the bell for all notifications. It's time for change. And don't give me that Texas strong crap. Nobody is strong when it comes to times like this. So I don't want to hear all of that. But yeah, guys, it's time to evolve. You got to remember the earth is elevating. It's changing. So things are not going to be the same like they used to be. All right? Uranus, Taurus. Now I got to go. I got to get going. Oh, yeah. Whoa. Let me close the reading. What am I doing? What's the outcome? And what's the... I got to give you guys an angel card. There's hope for Texas, definitely. Spirit, talk to me. What's the final outcome for this reading? I am doing live reading Thursdays, so y'all tune in. The topic is going to be about Ashanti and Nelly. We're going to go in on them. I get Midas and Miser for Texas, but I get the shadow side. Hoarding money and emotions. Observe obsessive fear of losing your wealth. That's Texas. They're holding on to money that they should be investing into the people. Not this time. There's a microscope on Texas. I wonder what Trump do it though, because I did hear an interview where Trump was talking about it, and he said he don't blame Biden. So I'm kind of glad he said that. I'm glad he said that.
Compounding the issue, what looked like a shrug from Donald Trump when he was confronted with questions about the possibility that the federal government fell short in warning Texas residents, and that his administration's gutting of federal agencies might hamper efforts to respond to emergencies like this one. Watch that.
President, are you still planning to phase out FEMA?
Well, FEMA is something we can talk about later. But right now they're busy working, so we'll leave it at that. Go ahead.
Are you investigating whether some of the cuts to the federal government left key vacancies at the National Weather Service or in the emergency coordination?
No, they did not. No, they did. I'll tell you, if you look at that what a situation that all is, and that was really the Biden setup. That was not our setup, but I wouldn't blame Biden for it either. I would just say this is a 100-year catastrophe, and it's just so horrible to watch.
He said he blames whoever was running this before, because we've been having these problems, guys. Our infrastructure is so old. You know why the infrastructure is old in Texas? Because Texas don't want to fucking change. Texas is so used to the country, Western, Alamo type of theme. That's why there's no changes, because people are so used to the old traditions, which is nothing against it. Trust me, I love the tradition. But let's be real about it. Let's be real about the cowboys. Let's be real about the natives. Let's be real about the Alamo. Who really won that bitch? Let's be real. Spirit, talk to me, talk to me. What angel card do you want us to know? Okay, here we go. This is what the angels are telling Texas. Do the work. How many times we've been getting this card? Do the work, Texas. Do the work. Exactly. Y'all want to call yourselves Christians? Do the work. I'm sorry, this has to be embedded into Texas. If you're wondering whether to move forward or not, this card is a message for your angels to continue on. You might feel your current situation requires more time and energy than you are able to give. And there's a good chance that you are feeling disheartened or even drained. It's important to know that everything involved in this situation is pivotal to your growth, expansion, and spiritual connection. This card invites you to switch on the lights you have within. It's time to be a star. Rise up, get behind the wheel, and drive the journey of life. Yes, energy is going to be needed to handle and push, but every single effort you make will pay off. Right now, you are sending out a signal, and that will create a wave that can lay a foundation for the rest of your life. Being spiritual isn't always easy. It comes with the price, and often that price is time and effort. That's why the angels call it light work, because we have to work our light. This isn't spiritual easy. This isn't spiritual vacation. This is spiritual work. And that does mean we have to work. Action, effort, surrender, and trust are needed for things to come together. But when this card appears, you have an important opportunity to figure out the balance between effort and effortless. Understand when both of these energies need to move through your being. If you want to abandon a project or walk away from a situation, this card is letting you know that you need more. This is needed more than ever. This isn't a time to run away. This isn't a time to turn up. When you show up ready and willing to work, you will move up too. Texas, do the work. If I can leave y'all with that. All right, guys, I'm over myself. I'm done. Please like, share, and subscribe to my video. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. I love you all. Peace, love. God bless. Change Texas. Change America. God bless. God bless.
Are you a Christian?
No.
You're not a Christian? Do you believe in God?
I believe in the universe.
How about God?
You call it God, I call it the universe. The universe is everywhere. So I believe everything starts with the universe. The love I have for the universe allows.
Are you a Christian?
No.
You're not a Christian? Do you believe in God?
I believe in the universe.
How about God?
You call it God, I call it the universe. The universe is everywhere. So I believe everything starts with the universe. The love I have for the universe allows me to love everybody with no judgment whatsoever. Whatever you do, however you do it. So I don't play in groups. I don't play Christianity. I don't play Muslim. I don't play Baptist. I simply play love. I belong to the group called Love, and I believe in the universe.
So when you say universe, are you saying the universe is God?
Right. Yes, that's you call call it God. I say the universe. I say it's always, everywhere, all the time, sees all things, everything. So what you say, God, because see, for me, in my humble opinion, especially in our community, God got a lot of restrictions. God got a lot of rules. God jealous. God be mad as shit, Jesse. God gonna punish you and send you to hell. I don't want to fool with him. God costs 10% of my money. Well, wait a minute. Why am I paying? What am I? So for me, it got to Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
I just say, I want to just love you, and that's it.
Amazing.